I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video, but let me just come to the point. I have been using DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for more than 2 years now, and I have seen a lot of videos praising this product, and no doubt it is a wonderful product, but I just want to make a video discussing the cons that I have faced after using this camera for so long. Like I think this is one of my most used cameras, but like internet is not so much vocal about the cons of this camera. So okay, I didn't find a single video covering these things, but let me make one. Okay, so first of all, like DJI has marketed this camera as a vlogging camera, we all know. Like if you see the comparison videos of DJI Pocket 3, they are generally with Sony ZV-E10 or with Canon mirrorless cameras. But like, is this really a camera in the first place? Like I think it is a mix between a action cam and a modern cam. There are so many things that like I feel which limits the tag of camera to this product. First of all, like we cannot set the aperture control for this camera. Like we have seen so many cameras with fixed lens, so like it's not the matter of interchangeable lenses of this camera, but even though like we have seen so many mirrorless cameras with fixed lenses, be it the world famous Fujifilm X100 or whatever, but you have an option to set the aperture, but in DJI Pocket 3's case it is not there. And we all know there are so many like review videos which are sponsored by DJI, and DJI would never feel happy to share these things with the potential customers who are watching review videos to just make their mind before watching this camera. So like that's why we don't see a lot of videos covering these topics. Another thing, I think DJI has marketed this camera as a vlogging cam, but in vlogging, like I'm doing vlogging since 5 years, and I want my audience to be in this scenario with me. Like whatever I'm shooting, I want to shoot a wide angle of view, so that audience can have the feel of being with me at the place. At times I will be happy to take tight shots, some emotional shots, but if you ask any vlogger, like they'll say they want a wider field of view. But coming to this camera, it has a 20 mm equivalent field of view, which I don't think is very wide, because like we have lenses in today's time. I have used Laowa lens, which is 10 mm. I know it's super wide, but still like you can easily have 15 or 16 mm lenses if you want a decent wide scenario, but 20 mm is a bit too tight. And I know most of the vloggers will agree to this. Plus the accessory that DJI has provided with this camera, the wide angle attachment to the lens, if you use it, you won't find it very pleasing, because you may see the distortion and the curving of edges in the corners. So I don't think like it looks very pleasant, or even if you want to use a wider field of view, you won't be using that lens. Like in my case, it's been around more than 2.5 years, and I have not used that wide angle attachment ever because of the distortion that it brings to the image. One more thing that I think is a limitation for this camera is the lack of interchangeable batteries. Like if you are having just the camera, then you don't get even the battery with it, but if you are having a creator combo, you get a battery attachment. But DJI is so poor with the accessories. Like even if you want to purchase the another battery in regions like India, you cannot even get it by any means. I don't know why is it. Like we have companies like Insta360, who have tons of accessories to support their cameras, and you can order them from any part of the world, but in DJI's case, I think this is a limitation. Also, coming to the next point, I think DJI Pocket 3 in the auto mode gives a very pinkish tint of shade to your footage. I have used this camera so much that even I can just look at a video of any creator, and I can tell that if the video is coming right out from the DJI Pocket 3 without any grading. Like if you are just using the auto mode, then there's a pinkish tint that I think is not very pleasant. Also, one more thing that I think is the USP of this camera, but I think is the limitation too, is its gimbal. Like see, this camera is not for pros, okay, like let's accept it. This is a beginner friendly camera, but how many beginners do actually know how to use a gimbal or handle a gimbal very neatly? Because in my case, like even if I'm making a video while walking, sometimes I feel like this camera is not in sync with me, because you know the gimbal is really slow. Even if you have 3 modes to set the speed, I don't feel it responds so much quickly. Like we have traditional cameras or even action cameras that you can, you know, just film very smoothly, but even though, you know, having a gimbal, it is not adding to my convenience. Also the gimbal is a bit jittery, like because of this gimbal, DJI Pocket 3 doesn't have the IBIS. The camera is here, and to reduce the shakes it is using the gimbal, so the IBIS is not there. That's why they cannot even lock the gimbal. Even if they want to lock the gimbal, then the image will be so horrible that we will never use because of this IBIS. Also, if you look at the size, like the name of this camera is pocket camera, but if you see, like it is not at all pocketable. Even the action cams like DJI Action 6, Action 5, Action 4, they are really pocket cams because you can actually carry them in your pockets. But do you think this camera will fit into many pockets as compared to the other cameras? In today's time, we are having so many weather sealed cameras, the pros, I'm talking about the mirrorless cameras. But in DJI Pocket 3's case, this is not weather sealed. You cannot take it outside if the weather is not favorable. Plus, unlike DJI's other camera, I know they have been released after the Pocket 3, but they all have internal storage and this camera doesn't have it. Also, one more thing that people have talked a lot about this camera is the low light performance. We all know it has a 1-inch sensor, but I have compared this camera to my other Sony camera, that is ZV-E10 Mark II, and you can see the results. You can clearly make out the difference, which one is the Sony camera and which one is the DJI camera. I know it's far better than its competitor. Like we have some brands coming up now with their version of pocket cameras, but I think it beats them out of the water. This one is the best among them, but I am using it for such a long time and I really want DJI to make changes to the other camera. We all know Pocket 4 is just on the verge of launching, and Pocket 4 Pro also. We all also know how Insta360 and Vivo are coming to this pocket camera markets, and in fact GoPro. Yeah, so I just want DJI, being a DJI fanboy, I just want DJI to make these changes and make this camera a bit user friendly. I just want a bit wider field of view with a zooming capacity, because a lot of videos we have seen where people are saying this is the perfect travel camera, but while traveling you need a really super zoom lens. I'm not saying I want a super zoom lens in this, but at least they should give a decent amount of zoom. Apart from all this, like this is an excellent camera because it has the 10-bit capacity, it has the log option, it has the DJI ecosystem of its audio, Osmo audio devices. You can connect it via Bluetooth with DJI mics. The gimbal has its own advantage if you are a pro and if you know really how to use a gimbal. And the footage is also really decent. Like in this price point, I feel this is an unbeatable camera. But like, as I said, I just wanted to point out few things that I think DJI should improve, and I hope Pocket 4 has all these things that we have discussed in these videos. If you have some doubts, just leave down your comment, and if you haven't subscribed this channel, I would love to have your support here. Thank you so much for watching this video.